Hold up, if you wanna go and take a ride with me, better hit me, baby, one more time.
More variety than you can imagine. Relax Radio.
Variety is definitely the spice of life. And hey, this is Relax Radio, RELAKS, with none other than me, Nick. And we got a Lara on board as well. And you see that she is wearing a very stunning blue hoodie. I'm telling you're keeping up with the themes.
I honestly, that's just pure coincidence, Nick, because I'm freezing here. So I'm trying to keep warm.
Anyways, though, there has been it's just before we get into the show and we dive into it. In case you didn't know, it's Friday. It is Friday. Any plans for Friday?
Not today, but I've got my nephew tomorrow. So yeah, it's gonna be a full house.
Oh, okay. It's gonna be a very busy, very busy week.
Yeah,
I mean weekend rather. Okay, sweet. That's great to hear. And hopefully you can keep up with the exercise, the summer body that you wanted to keep.
We'll see how that goes. I'll try my best. No promises, but I'll try my best.
And we'll be keeping you guys company all the way right here on Real Talk, all the way until 6 p.m. That make sure you guys tune in. If you want to be part of the show, it's pretty simple. Hit us up on the numbers 07852 473 473. That's right. Those are the magical numbers. And in case you guys are wondering, Laura, I don't know if you've seen the news, but I just recently saw about this article of they wanted to ban junk food. I mean, is that true? Did that really happen?
Yeah. Well, apparently
What's
the
that
UK government they're planning to impose a restriction on junk food advertisements, before 9 p.m. So technically from 2023, junk food adverts will not go on TV or online before 9 p.m. They're trying to tackle like obesity, childhood obesity in adults. Yeah, all of that stuff. So that is the government's plan.
All right.
Although I don't know how that's going to work, because my question is, who is the target audience?
So wait, is this? Yeah, because I saw the ads. Yeah, I saw the the report. I've seen the news about this thing, and they were talking about this, and it said that they were targeted. It was supposed to be for children, but it's after 9. So my question is, yeah. You know where I'm leading with this.
I mean, we all know that most kids don't even watch TV. They're all on social media, all on socials, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. That's true. I mean, if you're really tackling the TV, you're going to miss them because they're not there. But if you're trying to move it online as well, then these platforms, you just might get them there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there is so many ways, with Facebook, Instagram, you can always put these, public alert notices and stuff like that. But when you do the television, I'm telling you right now, that is an age that's gone. TV is gone now.
You're probably just going to meet like the elderlies from 50 above. And once you're 50, it's like you're also very particular about your health. You want to eat healthy. So you're not exactly interested in eating junk food. But if you're a teenager, a youth, in your 30s, you're still kind of edging towards junk food. But a lot of those people are on YouTube, on TikTok, the likes. So I don't know how that's going to work, honestly.
I don't really know. I mean, look, it can get tempting, especially on Instagram, TikTok. The way they make these burgers or pizzas, I'm telling you, I just can't get enough. I can't get enough of it. But but when you think about it, the real question is the target demographic. If this is how the government is going to approach these kind of situations where they want to alert the youth, well, they're doing it the wrong way, I think.
Yeah, and I was also thinking, because I was asking myself, how exactly are they going to do it on Instagram or on social media platforms to tell, them don't advertise junk food until 9 p.m. because these are business owners, these are people on Instagram that are struggling to make ends meet. So you can't exactly tell them don't accept, imagine you having like 10 million followers and you have different brands wanting to advertise on your platform. You're making a lot of money. So for someone to come and say don't advertise on Instagram or on YouTube, it's like, are you going to compensate me for not advertising? Like, if I don't push this out, how exactly am I going to make money? How am I going to live and survive? So, I
These
don't
are
know.
also, these are interesting questions, when you think about it. Yeah, the government, I don't think that they've actually thought it through.
Well, they are looking for different ways to tackle. I'm not going to lie, childhood obesity is of massive concern, in the UK and also in America. But I don't know if they're going by it the right way. I know it's a way, it's a step forward to say, no more advertisements before 9 p.m. But to say on TV, you're not going to find the youths because that is not the platform they're on these days.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you have to, if you want to do something, you have to put it either on TikTok, you got to put it on Instagram. Those are the places.
Yeah,
That's
you need to target them.
the target demographic. That is exactly right. I mean, look, right now, I'm a guy who grew up with Facebook, right? I mean, there was
Yeah.
MySpace. I was out of the age of MySpace. MySpace was irrelevant when Facebook came in. So Facebook was gaining traction. So right now, I still use Facebook regularly. And then I figure out, most of this, I'd like to say Gen Z. That generation.
Yeah.
All of them are, none of them are on Facebook. All of them are on Instagram. It shows. And they say, oh, Facebook is for old people.
Exactly. To be honest, I only use Facebook if I want to post a picture. It's been a while. I'm like, yeah, I still have people who follow me on Facebook. Oh, yeah, I actually forgot about that. And I just go there and I just post a picture and and I can't remember the last time I actually watched TV.
I mean,
normal TV. It's always YouTube. It's always Instagram. Much less people younger than me. So
I mean, we do have a television at home, but it is busted. I kid you not. It's a big plasma TV. It's on the wall. It's hoisted onto the wall, and it's a huge television. But it's not been working for the past 3 years. It's just there. It just makes it look nice.
My case is sometimes I just ask myself, why exactly am I paying for TV license? I don't even use a TV, So what exactly am I paying for? Well, yeah, it's just it's a good step. It shows that they're actually concerned about children, especially in this COVID pandemic season.
Yeah,
a lot of kids have been at home, so there's been a lot of takeouts. A lot of junk food eating.
Don't get me started on that.
yeah, it's been crazy. So it is a good step forward. But then again, we want to think about the businesses. How are these businesses going to be affected? Because these foods, these junk foods are high in, it's HFSS, so it's high in fat, salt, and sugar. So we're talking about giant takeouts like McDonald's, KFC, Subway, Domino's. How are they going to be affected? Because on TV you see all these advertisements, right?
That's right.
And then you're talking about cereal companies like Kellogg's, Nestle, Weetabix. These are brands that a lot of kids use. These are foods a lot of kids eat. So how are these businesses going to profit and make their money? From all that.
That's an interesting point right there, because we have to understand that if they're going to stop businesses like this, it reminds me of the cigarette and alcohol business as well. So those are unhealthy habits. Those are bad for you, but still people do it, right? The reason is they can't get rid of these kind of companies is because they're one of the number one taxpayers. So affect junk food business, who is one of the biggest taxpayers. I guarantee you they pay more tax than I do. They definitely pay more tax than I do.
Yeah. So, but I think also what the government is trying to let people understand is, even if it's not like alcohol or cigarettes, right? Because that one is clear. If you smoke anything inside, it affects your lungs and all of that. But childhood obesity, a lot of people don't understand. But gradually, it leads the children, to be overweight, to be obese, and all of that, and it leads to long-term health complications in the future. So I think the government is just trying to tackle it now before it gets out of hand.
I mean, yeah, there are hopefully right now, when we're trying to get back to normalcy, they will start better initiatives. Hopefully, get healthy and get those kind of initiatives are there. There's so many initiatives Iron Man and all of those kind of things that if they could start. I mean, if you're interested, you can do those kind of things. I remember when I was younger, I did a triathlon once. Yeah, back in the day, I was in my prime. I was pretty fit guy. Not right now, though. Right now, I weigh at least. Let's not even get to my weight. But when you're slacking off in the couch, when you have nothing to do, when you're on your phone all the time, this does tend, you tend to get lazy. You tend to slouch, and all of these
Yeah.
things, it adds up. And the government will have to figure out ways. How do we make people stop? Because look, it's easier to buy junk food than it
Yeah.
is to buy healthy food.
That is true, Nick. But also, I'm also going to say that I believe charity begins at home. I believe that parents have a role to play in all this. Personally, I don't think the government should have to come out to say no junk food ban advertisements before 9 p.m. I think parents should also take it upon themselves to say, this is what is, let me study my child, let me know what's happening. Let's keep weighing ourselves every month, see if they're putting on too much weight, if they're losing too much weight, kind of make a balance, and I know not every parent loves to cook or knows how to cook, but
I think
we,
that's the main
as
the
parents,
crutch at this.
yeah, but as parents, we need to try to reduce our takeouts and our ordering in. And it's very easy to say, oh, I want to order pizza, I want to order,
Yeah.
burgers and stuff. But you eat that, you sleep, you put on more weight. What happens? That child gets into adolescence or the teenagers, and then the bullying comes, the low self confidence comes in, and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
So,
don't get me started on low. Yeah, that happens a lot because I
yeah.
was a I was a pretty big kid when I was young. I was a little ball. I was a ball, so I know the feeling. Yeah, right now it's a little different, but I'm still a ball. Ball of
Yeah, I
pop.
think I think we're all like that. I mean, I was just so chubby and I was so tall. Yeah, growing up, so I felt weird. I felt like a misfit.
It does
So I
happen.
used to I used to tell my mom, when I get older, I'm gonna cut my knees off so I can be shorter. I'm going to do some things too. I was
That
very naive
sounds a
then.
little drastic. I
I
cut
was
my
I
knees
felt
off.
so I felt so weird. I felt I was the tallest out of all my friends in primary school, so I felt very isolated. I felt
Oh
like I
yeah,
didn't belong there, and plus the weight. I was pretty chubby, so yeah. So I know the impact it has on children. So maybe that's what the government's trying to prevent now.
that,
So when they get older, they don't experience that as well.
that is true. I mean, if you look at the demographic, especially even in the UK and in the US as well. In the US also, it's crazy because in the
Yes.
US, buying food is nothing. It's just oh, okay, you want a burger? Let's go. Just
And it's
walk.
so cheap. It's
It
so cheap,
is.
And then it's like sometimes I get tempted, Nick, to be honest. Sometimes I want to get cabbage or lettuce, and then I look at like wafers. Wafers is cheaper than
Then
cabbage.
a cabbage.
I'm
Yeah.
like, are you sure I'm not gonna get this wafers though? But then my conscience is like, Laura, get that lettuce. Go and make your greens in the house. You need to eat healthy. So, yeah, while the government is trying to do this, it's a good development. I'm just not sure they're targeting the right audience, and also parents should do their part as
They
well.
should. I mean, yeah, like you said, it does begin at home. It starts at home. If you want to do something, it'll always start at home. When it
Yeah.
comes to raising a child or whatever it could be, because these things are like you said. The government doesn't really. It's not required of the government to be talking about this and to be raising this particular point. I mean, it's a little common
Yeah.
sense, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah, for me it's just like someone outside trying to, teach me how to raise my child or trying to teach me what to do about them. So I should know. I should take it upon myself. And if I run out of options or if I just don't know what to do, then I can call the government and say, you know what, come through, come and help me, put this ban in. And yeah,
Yeah,
but let's see. We still have till 2023 to think about that. So
I mean, yeah, that's true, but it just correlates, all of this things that is going on. We know we're being lazy, and now everything is gonna get hopefully back to normal in another month. So yeah, hopefully there we can expect some more initiative from parents,
don't
maybe, and
jinx
from
it, Nick. Don't jinx it. Do not jinx it, please. I want things to go back to normal next month, but don't jinx it.
we all are expecting this. This is what we all want. I'd love it. I'd love it if I can go out with my friends again, maybe on a hike or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna say anything more on that. I know you might kill me.
So don't worry about it.
But yeah, anyways, if you guys, have anything you want to say about, this particular matter, well, hit us up on those numbers. It is 07852-473-473. So yeah, that's right. You can always be a part of the show. And with that, we're going to be taking a real quick break, and we will be definitely right back after this. Taking a look at your time, it is 4:22. Good evening.
But now, if you say to a child, if I went up to a child and said, you've had one to forget, God, there'd be an inquest. Me, why did you reject my son? Oh, I haven't rejected your son.
I want to talk about, how the generation gap, has how much it's changed, especially when you check the youth nowadays in comparison, to people back in the day.
I'd say when I was younger, it was more disciplined. Not now.
In comparison to now.
Not at all. Not now. The way things are nowadays, the younger generation, you seem that they can't accept the word no, if that makes sense. They can't
accept rejection, essentially, is all you're trying to say.
Yeah, they can't accept the word no. So if you, how did I do? Well, you didn't do very well. And they get upset, and when I was a youngster, my father used to say to me, because I used to be sport mad when I was very young, well, I still am sport mad, but like participating in different sports. And if I had a bad game, for example, I'd say to me, you had one to forget. That's it.
Yeah, that sounds like a smart guy. I mean, yeah, that's the real fact of the matter, yeah.
He'd say to me, you had one to forget. Get over it. And that was it. So I'd dust myself down and do it again. But now, if you say to a child, if I went up to a child and said, you've had one to forget, God, there'd be an inquest. Me, why did you reject my son? Oh, I haven't rejected your son. Or daughter. I've just told them that they need to buck their ideas up.
That's the truth right there. I mean, if you think about it, if you check the generations, like right now in the US as well, I've seen a lot of these things as well. In the UK, you get medals for participation. But what's the point? What are you trying to? Yeah, what's the point? Either you win or you lose. People are so afraid to put that whole notion of losing. When it comes to right now, the generation gap is just crazy. How much. A lot has changed. Social media has taken control of our lives, and we don't even realize it anymore. We're crippled because of it.
That's absolutely right, Nick. Because, as you said, nowadays it seems that you get rewarded for failure. For the life of me, Nick, I can't get my head around that. Perhaps I'm just getting old and morbid. I don't know. I just can't get my head around how you could be rewarded for failure.
Radio at its best. Relax Radio.
Welcome back to the show. This is Relax Radio with me, Nick, and we got the lovely Laura on the other side, keeping you guys company all the way until 5 p.m. That's right. And we were talking about right now the food ban, how the advertisements and all of that, how they're affecting. And it does remind me of the particular topic actually right now. And I know, Laura, you have something that you want to talk about that regards to, but the Northern Ireland and the whole EU UK situation right now, there is being talks about that. And in case you didn't know, there is going to be a discussion when it comes to the grace period. So what they're going to do is they're going to be extending the grace periods. And for me, I feel like this is just a whole cover up. The EU is just angry and mad at the UK for the whole Brexit thing. It's drama. That's all I can tell you. It's drama.
I have to say that the UK and EU are fighting like two lovers who've had to break up and are mad at each other. But everyone should just still put it's like the government should still put us at the forefront, no matter what's happened. We don't really know the nitty-gritty of the Brexit. We just know that they couldn't agree and the UK had to leave the EU. But with the whole meat ban, this ban and that ban, I have a feeling a lot more bans will be coming. It's just a
Oh
matter
yeah.
of time. Yes, but it's like there shouldn't be any resentment. In the end, it should just be understood that they did what's best for everyone. I mean, that's
I
what we're
mean,
all meant to assume.
the whole point of Brexit is because the UK was just tired of following the EU standards anymore, and we want to do get away from that. But they're still they're imposing themselves. I'd like to say a little too much, the EU, but we really don't know how the situation is going to turn out. Hopefully there will be peaceful discussions in the coming of days. This
Yeah.
is something that I'd expect. But yeah, it just reminded me this, like, this whole, when it comes to food and when it comes to banning these junk food advertisement, I'm like, the
Yeah.
sausages. Yeah, it's the sausages for the people in Northern Ireland. Well, they're gonna have to miss those sausages.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to say that I don't know how many things that the UK produces on her own that she can't import. But if they're putting a lot of bans on, don't bring, we're not going to import this and import that, and then there's a meat ban and stuff, they need to be sure, obviously, that they can manufacture and produce these things within the UK or across the UK, and they don't have to reach out to the EU for any help. Because if anything happens after they've imposed a ban and they can't produce these things for people, that is going to be a massive problem.
And that's exactly the situation right now, where they can't keep up, and that's why the UK is asking for these grace periods. They're asking for it again and again, and they're saying, okay, we want to extend it till September. Now it's extended. There is talks about this, so
Uh-huh.
that's the crux of the matter right there.
Yeah.
But just looking at all these things, the whole the meat, for me, it's important, yes, to notice all of these things. But I want to know right now, these big companies that are going to be affected. What about the little companies?
Well, from what I read, startup companies with about 250 staff or less won't be affected. So yeah, just the big companies that have got 250 staff above will have this junk food ban imposed. But just the little companies, they don't have to follow this, they won't be affected. But then again, we just have to ask ourselves, is that partial? It kind of seems unfair. I mean, I'm
A
all
little
about
bit biased.
I'm all about being partial. If you're doing this for this person or this business, you have to do it for the next person, because these startup companies, they're not going to be startup forever.
That's
They're
true.
also hoping to grow. They're also hoping to employ more people and get
That is
more
true.
money. So what's going to happen in the long run? So yeah.
It's kind of like a paradox, I'd like to say. It's a little bit like a paradox where you tell, okay, the big companies, once you become big, we'll have to ban these things X, Y, and Z, and then these
Yeah.
little companies, oh, you can become like the big companies.
Yeah, it's like all these companies, all these advertising junk food brands, they'll start rushing to it's simple logic. They'll start rushing to the small companies. The small companies will start making money, will start growing, will start
They will.
employing more people
I
because
mean,
demand and supply has to just
it has to, yeah,
balance.
it has to equate rather, and that is, it's ironic, yeah, like you said, it's when a big company, these big brand companies, these chain markets, I think what the government's initiative is they want to promote a lot of these local businesses, because most of these companies are not really, they're international brands, they're brand
Yeah.
labels and all of that. So I don't know, I'd like to think good of the government and say, okay, they want to promote local businesses, the simple guy, maybe the guy next door who wants to own a burger shop, he can run it
Yeah.
without any kind of hassle. I'd like to think that, I'd like to see the good in
Yeah,
that.
but that's going to be like a case of misplaced priority because in the end, the main aim is to tackle obesity, right? So if
That's
you're saying small companies, go ahead, advertise your junk food. By all means, you don't have any restrictions, and the aim is defeated, because these children and these people know what startup companies are posting these ads, these junk food ads. So it's like, oh yeah, if I can't find it on ITV or on BBC or whatever, I will go to a smaller, company or a smaller
Yeah, that's
startup.
true.
Yeah, that I can watch that. So in the end, they are still eating junk. They're still watching the commercials and the adverts. It's just
it beats the purpose
yeah,
of the whole thing.
exactly.
I think it's like we are trying to do this in such a way it won't harm the little businesses, but at the same time we have to promote and show them that we're good guys.
Yeah, yeah. You can't not eat your cake and have it now.
No, that's the fact of the matter. I mean, you have to either you impose it and it's equal for everyone. No one gets
Yes.
different like you said, partial treatment. No, it's got to be
Yeah.
100%. There's no such thing as biases. It shouldn't be biased.
Of course, I mean, if you want to support the smaller companies, there are other ways to support them, but not to say they can go ahead and put out their junk food ads when the big companies are not doing that. Because, just like I said, in the end, these kids know where to watch. It's like if I'm following someone on YouTube and they stop putting out the content I want, there are other people on YouTube that want that make the content I want. So I just move, to another place. So it's that simple.
It is. And I think, what I think my biggest thing, what I think is the government needs more young people. They need more youth.
Definitely.
People up with the trend with technology because they don't really know how things work. They're from another age. I'm a guy who is in my close to my early 30s. And it's difficult for me to keep up with technology. I can only imagine what the parliament is going through.
Yeah, it's like you need to tell this to every government in every country because they need to understand that they need to have young people. And it's not just you being young, you being exposed and you being educated. They need to, you can't just have, I'm not going to throw shades or anything, but you can't just have people within your age bracket, 50s above, and then expect to come up with no, it doesn't work like that.
It's the hierarchy. It's the hierarchy problem right here. The hierarchy is like people want to be like, no, if I'm older, I demand respect. We are wiser just because we are older. That happens. I know offense to all the old people out there. I love you guys, but you got to understand sometimes you're wrong. You're wrong. You got to understand.
Yeah, it's like not everything has to do with your experience. I mean, some people say, oh, I've lived longer on this earth, so I know better. No, not really.
You lived in another time.
Yeah, when you were my age, you didn't have the phones. You didn't know what internet,
Precisely.
TikTok was. You didn't know what Twitter was. But now it's here. So it's not really about how old you are, but it's about, are you willing to bring younger people to rub minds and see how we can make things better and how we can move forward?
Yeah, because most of the time, this is the problem. The messages that the government wants to get across to the youth, it always comes out really bad all the time. Now, I'm not even going to lie. 99% of the time, they try. Oh, they try.
Yeah.
They really try. I commend their efforts for trying, but they have to realize we are not in the early 2000s anymore. This is not 2002, 2003. Maybe you could do that back then when the internet wasn't a big deal, but now it's changed. Now people, they will get their information from somewhere else. They don't follow the government. So you have to make sure that you have a face, at least a couple of youth people who know what is in the minds of that generation.
It's just like you being your mom or your dad, and some parents don't even know how to operate the remote control. It's like they call you, oh, I'm trying to turn up the volume. I'm like, the button is right there, Dad.
It says
it's
it right there.
Like, and then you're trying to do things, especially with the trends and with the fact that technology evolves every single day, and different apps, different platforms, different ways to make money. Everyone now is realizing that, oh, I don't really have to work too hard. I just need to work smart.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that back in the day. Then you had to slave away. Yeah. So if you don't have people that are exposed and learning every day to help you, you're just going to keep making mistakes. And eventually you'll make one that is going to cost you a lot.
I couldn't argue even with you when you say that. That's the truth, because this is the thing. The generation. It's all about the generation gap, and we have to understand that just because you get older, it doesn't mean you can fill that gap in with your knowledge and your wisdom. Yes, you are wise, but for another time. You were wise with your generation. With your people, with your crowd, well, definitely you are the most wisest one. But when it comes to the youth think differently now, especially with technology and the more information travels. We're bombarded with these information from so many sources, and we are smarter. The children are way more smart now. I can even guarantee my niece is way more smart than I am. My niece is she knows how to operate YouTube and Netflix and all of that. When I was that age, I was just playing football.
Yeah, I mean, I completely understand what you're saying, and I agree with you, because my nephew is 16 months old and he's got a tablet. He knows how to work a tablet. He's not 2 yet. And I didn't know what a tablet was when I was his age, but I'm also going to give it to some grown-ups, some people who are not exactly in their youth, but they're ready to learn.
That is,
not being biased, but you see some people who are 50 above, they're willing to learn, they're willing to join the trends, they're willing to stay up to date. They want to know what's happening. They want to know, okay, what is going on? What is Twitter about? How do I use it? So if we've got people like that in the government, people that are, I may not be so young, but I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to get involved and see how I can carry the youth along. Then, by all means, we need to applaud them, and we need more people like them.
We do.
But what we don't need are people who are not young and are not exposed, not willing to get exposed.
Yeah, and they're like, no, it's not like that in my day. Back in my day, that's why it's back in your day. It's done. Now let it grow. Let the youth grow. Let them teach you things that you don't know. I mean, That's the problem. People are not going to be willing. Especially, imagine you. I would say you come up with a person who is older, and they're saying something about life, and you disagree with their viewpoints. Well, there's going to be a massive debate. You're looking down. I think you had that argument already.
Oh my gosh. It's like where I come from, like, right. So in Africa, there's a saying that we say, what an adult sees while standing up, a young boy cannot see while sitting down, or something like that. Pretty much means that you can't argue with me. I'm older than you. I'm like, I can, and I will argue with you if I know you're wrong. So yeah, but we just hope that this development is going to come up with a positive results, because this statistics to child obesity is really getting out of hand.
It is. I mean, I can actually guarantee and say that there's more children who was more obese than they were back in the day. When I was young, at least people would be always outside all the time. We don't have time. We had video games, but then it wasn't like now. Like now, look at the video games right now. It's cutting edge. It's like I'm literally looking at another person, like the nose, the nostrils flaring, maybe a little bit of the sweat in the eyebrow or something like that. It's
definitely the AI has just. It's just there, the virtual realities, all of that stuff. So let's just hope for the best, pretty much.
Let's definitely hope for the best. I hope that our youth, our generation, at least we can keep up with the youth. I hope. I'm out of look, I'm not a TikTok fan. I'm not the greatest when it comes to TikTok. I'm a dinosaur, but I admit it. But I'm willing to learn, and I think that is what we need. We need people who are willing to learn. And just like that, if you are willing to check us out, well, check us out on our TikTok pages. That's right. We go as Relaks Media. And also don't forget, you can download the app from the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Carry us all day, every day. And with that being said, we're going to be taking a real quick break, and we will definitely be right back after this. Taking a look at your time, it is 4:42. Good evening.
Again. But now, if you say to a child, if I went up to a child and said, you've had one to forget, God, there'd be an inquest. Me, why did you reject my son? Oh, I haven't rejected your son.
I want to talk about, how the generation gap, how much has changed, especially when you check the youth nowadays in comparison, to people back in the day.
I'd say when I was younger, it was more disciplined. Not now.
Comparison to now,
not at all, not now. The way things are nowadays, the younger generation, you seem that they can't accept the word no, if that makes sense. They can't
accept rejection, essentially, is all you're trying to say.
Yeah, they can't accept the word no. So if you how did I do? Well, you didn't do very well, and they get upset, and when I was a youngster, my father used to say to me, because I used to be sport mad when I was very young, well, I still am sport mad, but like participating in different sports. And if I had a bad game, for example, I'd say to me, you had one to forget. That's it.
Yeah, that sounds like a smart guy. I mean, yeah, that's the real fact of the matter. Yeah.
You know, he said to me, "You had one to forget. Get over it," and that was it. So I dust myself down and do it again. But now, if you say to a child, if I went up to a child and said, "You've had one to forget," God, there'd be an inquest. An inquest. They'd have to me. Why did you reject my son? Oh, I haven't rejected your son. Or daughter. I've just told them that they need to buck their ideas up.
That's the truth right there. I mean, if you think about it, if you check the generations, like right now in the US as well, I've seen a lot of these things as well. In the UK, you know, you get medals for participation. But what's the point? What are you trying to? Yeah, what's the point? Either you win or you lose. People are so afraid to put that whole notion of losing. You know, when it comes to right now, the generation gap is just crazy. You know how much. A lot has changed. Social media has taken control of our lives, and we don't even realize it anymore. We're crippled because of it.
That's absolutely right, Nick. Because, as you said, you know, nowadays it seems that you get rewarded for failure. You know, for the life of me, Nick, I can't get my head around that. Perhaps I'm just getting old and morbid. I don't know. I just can't get my head around how you could be rewarded for failure.
Now, there's a lot of conversation around who pays more taxes, if it is the rich or if it is the poor, right? But when you are basically going out and during a day, you know, you go to a restaurant, you have to pay taxes there. You buy a car, you have to pay taxes there. So why is it even a conversation that, you know, the rich pay less taxes or the poor pay more taxes? Why is it a conversation like that?
Because it's true, the rich generally pay less tax. A rich person walks into a Tesco's or a Sainsbury's, they're not going to get a different bill than another person, right? They're still going to pay the same VAT on those goods, they're still going to pay the same thing. So that's all the same. However, the differences come in if you can pay yourself from your own company, you can structure it in a way that you pay less income tax through paying a bit of salary, paying dividends and so forth, and then also deferring income. Also, your pension payments or contributions can be different. So that increases your tax sort of gap, if you want to use it that way. Where a PAYE person just gets paid salary and bonus. And now those are the most highly taxed sources of income in the UK, definitely, in the UK. We've seen it, right? If an owner of a large public traded company does something wrong, irrelevant of what that company does or how valuable that company is, the stock generally falls into a pool of nothing, right? Because in a public company where the stock is traded openly on the stock exchange, the value of that stock is driven by supply and demand, it's driven by emotion, it's driven by news, it's driven by quite a lot of variables over and above the actual accounting or total net worth of that company. I mean, we've seen it, right? If an owner of a large public traded company does something wrong, irrelevant of what that company does or how valuable that company is, the stock generally falls into a pool of nothing, right? And the company may still have value, it may still be doing quite a good thing.
Wanna go and take a ride with me, Betty? Baby, one more time.
More variety than you can imagine. Relax Radio.
Hi, Nick. Can you hear me now? I'm having a little bit of problem with the audio. Can't hear you right now.
It seems like Laura is going through
Right.
some sort of difficult.
Okay.
Can you hear me now, Laura?
Yes, I can. I don't know what happened there.
All right, that could have been a little small technicality glitch. I mean, these glitches happen sometimes.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, this is Real Talk, and yeah, I'm Nick, and we got Laura, and you know we're gonna keep it real, 100% all the way until 6 p.m. That's right. You know we're talking about all things that is going on, and there's a lot of spice, and it's not really nice. Laura, you want to fill the listeners?
There is a scandal now, and I didn't even see, like, I didn't read all the juicy news, and now that I'm up to date, I'm like, wow. The health
don't keep us in.
The health secretary, Matt Hancock, he's involved in a scandal. I'm going to call it a scandal because, first of all, he's broken COVID restrictions, you know, the rules of keeping 2 meters apart in the office, right?
All right. I mean, you're the health minister. I mean, yeah, you shouldn't be doing that.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then, so pictures came up online about him kissing his aide.
Oh, whoa, what?
Right. Now, everyone knows he's got a wife, right? His wife's name is, I'm just going to see if I can find her name now. So he was kissing his aide. She's called Gina Colandangelo. I'm going to try not to murder her name. But yeah, that's not his wife. So I'm just thinking, really? You know, when you want to do some things in the office, you kind of just forget that there are cameras. And then these cameras pick up things. So
I mean, again, back to the topic of, you know, being outdated.
Yeah.
This is why, you know, young people won't make these kind of mistakes. I know for a fact.
Honestly, and a lot of people have criticized him, calling him a hypocrite, saying that he's the one telling everyone not to hug, telling everyone to keep their distance, but he's at the office getting all smoochy with his aide.
Oochie.
Yeah. You know, so he's all smooching, and a lot of people, the Liberal Democrats, have also asked him to resign.
Oh.
You know, they've accused him of, yes.
I mean,
they've accused him of being a hypocrite. Yeah. So I mean, everyone is saying, just step down, but he's like, nope.
All right. I think now we know who's the most hated person in the UK. Yay. I thought I was about to give the medal to Meghan Markle, but then, you know, boom, all of a sudden
yeah,
he did it.
Every day, every new drama. So
I mean, for me, the issue is, first off, you're the health minister. You're supposed to set an example.
Exactly.
I'd like to think that you are supposed to set an example right now with the community, with the youth, with the people all looking towards you for guidance, because the health minister, you are the one who makes the calls. You're the one who calls the shots and tell us, okay, whether X or Y or Z, or this is not what we're supposed to do. This is something we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to go and hug people. We're not supposed to go. We're supposed to social distance. All of this, you plan out everything, but then you go out and blatantly, might I say, break the rules and go all lovey-dovey with your little, paramour. Well, that's not something that's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, go on.
Oh, no, I personally, I would think, like, if he, I mean, first off, like, the most important thing is people have already been looking for a fault with Matt Hancock. A lot of the people, not only the government, not only the opposition, but I'm talking about people in general, because, you know, even with the recent, I don't know if you've seen Dominic Raab talking about all these things, like about Matt Hancock, and he was the former advisor for the prime minister. And he was talking a lot of things about Matt Hancock, and he did blame him about, you know, the issues with the care home. A lot of people have passed away.
Oh, yeah.
So most of that has fallen onto Matt Hancock's shoulders. And now, with this recent scandal, it doesn't look too good for him.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that when you hold a very high position, by being the health minister, you know, a lot of people look up to you. You know, you've got a lot of integrity. You've got a lot of, your reputation is at its peak. So it's like, don't try to do anything to mess it up. Don't try to do anything to make people hate you. Because right now, if he comes out tomorrow to say any update on the COVID, what's the guarantee that people are actually going to listen to him? Because it's like, we know what you did. We know that you broke the rules. We know that you are, some people are already calling it cheating on your wife. We know that you're doing this and you're doing that. You're having an affair, a secret affair, which is not so secret anymore. But why should we listen to you? So it's just, some people are calling it abuse of power, saying, so it's a lot of talk.
For me, what is interesting right now is what I want to know from all this. I mean, forget right now the affair. Okay, it's all found, it's all discovered. What is the Prime Minister doing about this?
Yeah, well, Boris Johnson has come out to say, you know what, I forgive you, case closed.
Wait, rewind. Yeah. I forgive you, case closed?
Yes. He's pretty much saying that, Matt Hancock came out to say he's terribly sorry. He knows he's disappointed a lot of people. But yeah, the Prime Minister is like, let's move on. He's not going to talk about it. Yeah.
Hey, the Prime Minister, I don't even know what is going on with him.
Yeah, it's almost like, does Matt Hancock know any secret that you don't want to come out in the open? Because normally, if he was I'm just guessing, if he was a civilian, we know people who have broken the rules. We know civilians who have broken the rules, and they've had to pay fines. They've had to pay money, £100, and it might even go up to £500. Who knows? Now, if civilians break rules and they have to pay for it, if you in a very high position break any rule, why then shouldn't you be punished? Because you need to set an example.
Leniency? Yeah,
exactly.
Why are you getting leniency? That's interesting. Yeah, like it's a little play on power there, right there. I mean, there's biases, and what gives a person with power the right, though? Isn't the law? Isn't people? There shouldn't be anyone above the law. I mean, much, right?
absolutely. And it's like I expected the Prime Minister to say, you know what, fine. There's a lot of heat, and you're not even doing it because a lot of people are talking about it, but you're doing it because it's the right thing to do. You should say, you know what, just stay out of office for a few days. Be on
something.
1 week suspension, something, but not. Oh yeah, it's fine. Let's move on. Case closed. Like it doesn't just work like that, because everyone is gonna think it's okay to break the rules. That's
like
it.
you're just giving him a slap on the wrist and like, okay, you're free to go. There's nothing. There's not even that. There's not even a slap on the wrist.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, okay, I forgive you.
So it's like I can get on the bus and not use a face mask. I can go into a store and not use a face mask. After all, Matt Hancock did this and nothing happened. So why are you holding on to me? What for?
I can guarantee you, if you do say that, I will see you in a self-quarantine in some hotel. You'll be calling me and be like, okay, Nick, you made a boo-boo right there.
I'm going to fight my way through.
But it does beg the question, though, why the government has to take serious action with regards to this. And I don't think opposition is going to let this slide right now. The way things are going, it's a little rocky because, like you said, people like Matt Hancock have to set an example. They have to show the people why are following the rules, why the rules are there in the first place. Yeah. And when you go and break it, I mean, you want to have your hanky-panky, whatever, you want to call it, behind closed doors. Okay, fine. But at least have the common decency. I mean, it's your life. It's not mine. I have no personal right to tell you what to do. That's a whole different power question right there also. It's with his aid. So that when you talk about office ethics, that is a problem right there.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people are just saying, like, let me just read something that the Labour Party chairwoman, right, Annalise, said, and I quote, he set the rules, and she's talking about Matt Hancock, right? And she says, and I quote, he set the rules. He admits he broke them. He has to go. If he won't resign, the PM should sack him. So everyone is jumping on this. Everyone is, really fighting for this. And I don't know if people are using this opportunity to really lash out at the Prime Minister, but this has happened, and there's no take backs. So the Prime Minister can't just ignore and turn a blind eye to say, I don't care what happens. He can do whatever he wants. He broke the rules. I forgive him. It's not that easy.
No, it's not. It's definitely not. Yeah. It's not like you can say, oh, I forgive you. How? What do you even mean? I mean, Laura, let's say hypothetically, I was walking down the street and I wasn't wearing a mask, and I said, "Okay, I made a mistake." I asked Boris Johnson, "Will he say that for me?" He would be like, "Oh, will he be like, I forgive you. It's okay, you can
Yeah.
wear your mask today."
And then the bigger question is, what happens then? Everyone is going to abuse it. Everyone's going to start, oh yeah, I made a mistake and I did this, and it's going to give everyone the opportunity to start breaking rules, and then who knows? Yeah, we go back into another lockdown, and I can't take that. So yeah, Matt Hancock, I'm just going to say he knew better. He knows better.
He should have known.
He shouldn't have. Yeah, he should have known, and he should definitely needs to do more than just say I'm sorry. He needs to own up.
I'm sorry is not enough. The damage is done. Like, the people have seen it. I mean, this in essence, this is what it's going to do, is it's going to paint you in a bad light, and people are not going to forgive you now because of this situation. I mean, people already have a grudge with that regards. People already are mad at you, and they're looking for ways, with the whole delay in the lockdown and X, Y, and Z and all of that. And now, to top it off, you did something like this. I mean, man,
yeah, and I think a lot of people are just really pissed because it's like we can't do what we want to do. We can't hug, we can't kiss, we can't do the things that we're used to doing, and that really has taken a strain on a lot of people, everybody. But now you, as a health minister, you're doing this thing and you're telling us not to do. You know that we can't do it and we shouldn't do it, and we're trying to obey the rules. So why won't you? That you are the health minister. It's not like you're the health minister of a school. You're the health minister of the whole country.
Health minister of the school.
So, so it's. No.
I mean, it does, it does grate on your nerves when you think about the responsibility that you have. A lot of people are relying on you. And then when you go and you disappoint people like this by abusing your powers, your so-called powers, and then you ask your buddy, the prime minister, to forgive you. I mean, come on, we can.
It's like tomorrow, if he comes on TV and he's trying to give any update, everyone is gonna be like turning off the TV, like, boop, that's it. I'm gonna do something better with my time. Why am I listening to this guy who can't even obey the rules?
I'm telling you, right?
His integrity is really at stake here.
It is. I mean, I mean, whatever is left of his integrity is going down the drain with the whole thing that. Boris Johnson is also not gonna look good in this. It's making him look bad too.
Exactly.
Because you're putting also the prime minister of the country who is leading the pandemic at the moment and all these problems that we have, and you're putting him on the spot like that, and for the prime minister to just forgive you and pretend like it's nothing. These are just small things. Nah.
It makes him look sloppy. It makes him look spineless.
It does.
It makes him look like, we can just do whatever, and he won't budge. And it also makes it look like Matt Hancock has something against him, and it's like, if you don't forgive me, then I'm going to leak this out to the world. Like, come clean. What are you guys hiding? Let us know now. we might just forgive you. I'm just kidding.
Oh, Laura, you just used the prime minister's words against him. I see what you did there. But the point, in fact, is yes. He should have known better. The prime minister should have known better. And the way things are going right now, I don't think it's going to be pretty good for Matt Hancock in the next couple of weeks. He's going to be really, really rough on him because, I mean, you gotta take the hits. Now that you took it, you were proud about it, and you said you're sorry. Well, that sorry is not going to be enough, and people will look for points and ways to bring him down.
Yeah, and, I mean, look on the bright side. He might become the most popular man. He might become the most popular man in the UK. I mean, if you go on Twitter now, his name is probably trending, and
he must be.
He might just break the record, but for the bad reasons, But yeah.
I mean, you know what they say in showbiz, any media is good media.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know for him though. I don't know for him because his job is definitely at stake.
I mean, I think he has things to worry about at home more than his job. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I actually read this article saying that his wife. I'm just gonna quickly see if I can even find her name now. So his wife was seen leaving her house with her wedding ring.
Oh,
I can't just come up with her name at the moment. Oh yeah, her name is Martha. So Martha was seen leaving the house with a ring. So everyone's like, is everything good? Like you don't need to lie to us. You don't need to hide it. Like it's come clean.
Oh,
But yeah, I mean, they're professionals. They're in high positions. They're obviously not going to come out with scandal.
but
Seeing
yeah,
what
I
she's
just
going
saw the
through.
pictures. I just saw the video, the picture of it, and yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little. It's a graphic video,
He's in
and
a very compromising position there.
oh, you can't be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, ma'am, I'm sorry, Martha, I accidentally slipped and fell, and
On
she
someone's
tried to
lips.
catch me on someone's lips. Yes, you did. You did a major. You messed up. You messed up, buddy. That's all I can say to Matt Hancock. You messed up big time. And I mean, I'm just looking at the positioning. I cannot find any sort of excuse to say. And
Yeah.
I think that's why he just gave into it, and he admitted to the fault. And at least, I mean, in the next coming of weeks, there will be hopefully a new health minister. You never know the way things are going, the way the
Well,
backlash is coming from the community. We can never know. We can
yeah,
never know
yeah.
how it turns out. But
Whatever happens with his family, it's just I just hope he can fix it. You
I do.
know, and apologize to the people of the UK because we are not. I mean, people are not smiling now. We're not happy with what he's done. So even if he's not leaving the office, he needs
I'm
to
smiling.
understand.
I'm sorry. I'm smiling. I'm smiling at the position that he's in. I'm like, wow, how did you even get yourself into that?
Yeah, it's like even if he's not leaving the office, even if there's no implications to what he's done, he needs to own up and he needs to kind of find a way to convince people that it was a mistake, and he's apologized, but it's like it's not enough.
That's
That's
not
what
enough.
everyone is saying. It's not enough.
I mean, it's not enough if you apologizing. Anyone can say they're sorry. Anybody can say they're sorry. I mean, Matt
Exactly.
Hancock said he was sorry when a lot of these people, he didn't want to say it, but then, they can say a lot of these sorries. Anybody can say sorry. It's like when you take a plate and you break it and like, oh, I'm sorry, but it's done. The damage is done.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
And fixing that plate up, it'll never be the same. I mean, yeah, that's a
That's
little
it.
analogy right there, but it's the truth.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I to be honest, before this whole thing, I had really great respect for him. I mean, I've seen all the criticisms, I've seen what people have said about him, but I've still had mad respect. But now, come seeing this, I'm like, okay, that why should I actually even listen to what you're saying? If you're saying tomorrow, new rules, everyone wear your COVID masks, still maintain 2 meters distance, it's like people are not going to take him seriously if you're being
That is
completely
true.
honest.
That
So
is
he
true.
needs to find a way, him and the prime minister need to find a way to make it up to everyone. Either he gets suspended for like a week or a few days or whatever. Let people know that, his integrity is still there.
I highly doubt that's something that will happen. That's something, if the government admits to that, then they'll have to admit to a lot of things. I mean, with one, Boris Johnson and his whole apartment thing, that is also something that he'll have to admit. And that if that's not going to happen, this is not going to happen.
Mhm. It's all politics anyway. So.
In the end, it is all politics. That's correct. But hey, it is that time of the day. It's about that time of the day that, we head on out of here. And we'll catch you again, guys, tomorrow. Tomorrow. Whoa, I'm so excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow's the weekend. Rather, we'll catch you guys again.
Yeah, on Monday.
On the Monday. That is correct. Thank you, Laura, for
Yeah.
correcting me. But yes, we'll catch you guys on Monday, same time, same place, all the time, right here at Relaks Radio. But until then, my name is Nick, and we got Laura, and we are out of here.